Okay, I'm just going live now. There might be a little echo, so I need to just mute one of the functions as far as I remember. Setting up meeting, redirecting to YouTube. Okay, I'm just going live now.
Yes, it's on YouTube.
A little echo, so I need to just mute one of the functions as far as I remember. Okay, so I need to mute. Setting up meeting, redirecting to YouTube. Okay, I'm just going now.
Yes, it's on YouTube.
A little echo, so I need to just mute one of the functions as far as I remember. Okay, so I need to mute. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Loud and clear.
okay, fantastic. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming in. And I'm going to kick off with a little bit of feedback. There's been a lot taking place with regards to obviously this court case. Again, I want to extend my gratitude to everybody that's sticking through with this. I think we've had a fantastic participation now. It's taken some time to get there, but we are certainly starting to win as far as making things happen. So I just want to go to my presentation that I prepared just to give you guys some feedback. Just got to find it, and then let's have a look here. I see there's more people joining. Let me just admit them. Okay. Right. Go. Okay, can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. I'm getting better at that. All right. I just need to hit the play button, I think. It's just hiding behind there. Is there somebody that I can nominate as a admin or co-host just so that you can let people in? Is anybody prepared to put up their hand and say they will do that?
You can make me. It's fine. I can wait for you.
Thank you, Sharon. Let me, and I see there's another one here. Co-host.
Hi, Rory.
Yes.
Anyone can get in. They don't need it, just go straight in, mate.
Sorry?
Everyone can go straight in. There's no room.
Oh, okay. Well, with Google, but as far as I know, there's a limitation on this on the setting. Sorry, is anybody else that wants to just put up their hand? I'll make them co-host, and they can just operate in the back, and then I'll just Nicole. Well, Sharon, have you got it? Can you handle that on your side?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I've admitted a few already.
Okay, I see this other gentleman is prepared to help. Co-host too. Everybody can just mute. So I'll try and do that function now myself. But if you can just mute yourself. Participants, mute all. Great. Okay, now we can kick off. I just want to make sure, Sharon, that can just everybody raise their hands if you can hear me. Just hit the raise hand button so I can see that pop up. If you can still hear. Perfect. Okay, great. Let's get. All right. So, just a little bit a disclaimer up front. This presentation is intended solely for educational and entertainment purposes. Accessible only to private members. The information shared herein reflects my personal perspective and experiences, designed to provide insight and facilitate knowledge. Sorry, Shannon, if you can just hit the mute when needed. Exchange among members seeking further understanding. Please note that the content presented does not constitute financial advice. Decisions based on this information are solely responsible of the individual. For more professional and financial guidance, consult with a duly registered financial advisor. By participating today, you acknowledge and agree to these terms and understanding that this forum is meant for information, enrichment, and community engagement only. My name is Rory Conacher, and it is 11th of April, 2024. Just before I continue, I'm still getting echoes there. Let me... Sharon, can you pick up if anybody's still...
It's Nigel and
Nigel, please.
Salepi.
Please, can you guys mute? And it's just going to frustrate everybody else. I think I need to do an on-entry mute. I'll do that for next time. Make sure that that setting is in place. Okay, I'm going to get going. So if you can just make sure all are muted, Sharon, and then we can move forward so there's no interruptions. I will open the floor after this. So the meeting overview for today will take longer than 20 minutes, and then I'm going to open up to the floor for any questions that people would like to ask. What I want to cover I found my unmute button. Okay, let me say meeting overview. Time is 45 minutes, 20-minute presentation, and then I'll open up the floor to everybody where you can ask questions, but hopefully I've answered many of the questions when we get to the end. I'm going to run through the payment online process form just so that people have a better understanding. I've had a request for bulk payments as well, so I'll talk about both options, as there are some leaders or people that would like to pay on behalf of their family members. Then I'm going to give a very short high-level plan broken down just so that you understand the stages that we're going to be going through. And then I'll address, I've just selected 10 questions that I'll address at the end, and then we'll go through that. So this is all about Hypertech and what we and our money back. LV zone, because it's truth. We have seen those lies, and we have so much on video to support what we need to do when we go forward with the legal case, which is in Dubai. The commitment form over here is, there's two forms, and this is confusing people. The very first form that we had was a commitment form, and that closed off at 20,796 people. Now that was specifically to make sure that, do people want to go ahead and take a legal route? I made a commitment to the community saying that if we had 10,000 or more people, we would move forward with a legal suit in Dubai. We reached 20,000 people, and therefore I'm upholding my commitment to you, the community, and we're now in that process of moving forward to the court. So far, out of the 20,796 people, we have 1,103 people that have filled in the second form. So there's two forms. The first one is the commitment form, which you can't access anymore. The membership payment form is now the form that we're working with as an actual form. If you did not participate in the commitment form, you can still participate now by the membership payment form. Again, just to reiterate, the reason for this was that we wanted to see what the commitment was. Does the community want to get their money back? Do they want to seek legal justice in Dubai? And do they want the truth? 20,000 people plus have put up their hand and said, yes, we're happy to do that. I'm going to go online now and share these two forms and explain them in a little bit more detail. We will go through the single payment on the membership payment, bulk payment, explain how you can do that. We currently have 3 payment options, which is USDT, Tron network, but we still need to pay the USDT. Then we have USDT Ethereum. That is a much more expensive mechanism to pay, but some people ask me for that specifically. And then we have PayPal. I am working on the credit card solution because that seems to be the most plausible. When I started with this, I had no idea how many people could not operate cryptocurrency. And for me, this was a very strange thing, because your participation in all these programs, you needed to have cryptocurrencies. So that begs the question of how you got into the program. Now, if you gave your cash to somebody and they paid on your behalf, please make sure that you have the necessary agreements between each other. I would hate that anybody has done something wrong or misleading. You need to go and speak to a financial advisor on how those transactions happened in your jurisdictions. From our side, it's just quite a simple process. Here in South Africa, we are able to work with cryptocurrencies. We have exchanges, but some people around the world don't have that. So that is, I underestimate, absolutely no clue on how the crypto space works, yet they've lost $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000. Please mute yourselves, just so that we can make sure that other people don't get affected during the presentation. So I want to give a share now on Google Chrome. I'm hoping everybody can see that. All right, just love hearts or something, so I know that it's working. So let's go to I'm just trying to find this form, because things are coming up and overlapping, what I can actually see. Actually, I've got this right. Otherwise, I will just share my full screen and just go that way moving forward. Appreciate your guys' patience. Okay, let's try and just share the screen as normal desktop share. So that will share yourselves. And now if I go to Google, let's go here. Where is that form? Looking for Google Chrome at the moment. There's a membership form. Let's go to the Truth, Lies, and Google form. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So a bit of a summary on where we had. There were questions that were asked. We specifically wanted to know areas, countries, and particularly languages. Here was a very high level of some of those questions. You gave an agreement for me to be able to email you and send consent. At any stage, if you have an email or you don't want to be part of the process, you can just unsubscribe. We had 6,642 people out of the States. We've had 2,758 people out of South Africa and 2,061 people out of the United Kingdom. You can see Canada, Australia. On the commitment form of people that have already paid, we have 157 countries that have been affected by this. 157 countries. And 20,000 people, or even 1,000 people, is such a small portion of who has lost money or to the Hypertech Group. We found out which programs. There was a whole bunch of other programs that people mentioned on their side. I will share these details a little bit later, once we when we get between the 5,000 and 7,000, of how much money we're actually talking about, of what people believe they owed. One of the questions was, would you contribute if we went forward with a campaign? All the people that completed this form, 100% said they would contribute the $15. And there you can see there's 5,044 responses. All that information is 100% recorded, and I'm not making it full public knowledge. I'll just show you. I've had a lot of people say to me, oh, I'm just duplicating things. That's not the case at all. These are unique email addresses. These are unique people, and they have their, they want to get their money back, or they want to see truth or justice. So this goes all the way down to to the 20,797. So let's go now to, so this form, to sum up again, was specifically to get commitment. Now we reached that, and now we're saying, okay, we all agreed to this. We now need to pay the $15 contribution, and I will explain a little bit more on how that all works. There is a membership statement acceptance. I've given a breakdown of how the money is going to be used. And I've given some basic, for ease of tracking, only one payment per 15. I've now created a bulk payment solution so that you guys can pay on behalf of many and only pay once. We will discuss how we do that. This is the rough outline of how the money is going to be spent. 80% of it, a minimum 80% will go towards the legal, but there's a lot of other things, website translation, email services. There's a lot of costs that are associated with putting this together. I'm also engaging with external parties who are experts in the field with tracking down money and wallets, because that will be a very important part of a lot of information, but we need more detailed work done there. So what you would need to do when you complete this form, you would have to accept, member accepted, saying, yes, I've read that information, and accept. You would then fill in your information of your email address, etc., and go through that. We choose country again because different countries have different legislations. And also, we want to make sure that when we're in Dubai, we're representing this on a world platform. And as I said to you, we already have 157 people that have, countries that have been affected. Why have I asked about the messaging services? Specifically to make sure when we move forward, what is the predominant form of communication that we need as members outside of the portal that we're going to have? And that is WhatsApp, Telegram, email. Priority, or the highest, we can check the responses. I'll just maybe do it this way. There's the countries you can see. United States. I'm actually just gone now to all the results so far. So United States, we've had 371 people that have completed the form and said they've paid, 123 for United Kingdom, Africa, and 118 for Australia. You can see here from the best way that you guys was telling me to communicate with you is with emails. So we have 888 people that have voted specifically for emails. We have WhatsApp, and then third place is Telegram. For meetings, you've asked for Zoom, and you've asked for YouTube. So those people that are now live on YouTube, you're watching it from your side. And for Zoom, for those people that come in on time, will have an opportunity to ask your questions. So from my side, I asked people to subscribe to YouTube and click on notifications. There's a reason for that going forward. Please do it. Otherwise, I get a lot of messages back from people saying, what is happening? What's the update? What is happening? We're going to go into an intense phase through this next process where you'll get a lot of your updates. So this will help you keep up to speed what to do. So click on my channel, click on that little bell icon or notifications, and you will know what's coming down. I will be sending out specific playlists to people where you will get, you need to have subscriber to get that access to that playlist. Home language, we know that English is 788, but here is the balance. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm anticipating that we're going to need to communicate in 12 different languages at the moment. And that means video, text, communications, etc. And then there's second language. How I plan to do this is country-based. With countries with more than 100, we will have dedicated groups for those countries. And anybody that sits outside of that will go into a universal group. And from languages, again, there'll be a separate group in that. Join, for example, you're in America, but you speak Spanish and you want to get your information in Spanish. And that is why I'm doing Choose method of payment. Majority have said TRC Tron crypto, and a lot of people, as I said, are choosing the fiat payment. And when I put this together, I did not anticipate so many people having challenges when it comes to the payment system, because I understood you participate in these programs, you should have a cryptocurrency wallet. But that was an area that surprised me. And one of the things with the forms, you'll notice that it says that it's got 14 pages. It doesn't take 14 pages. It's about 3 or 4 pages. The reason why it shows more pages at the bottom is because option, it takes you directly to that page. So you fill in the basic information, and then you shoot through, you select which payment that you're using, and it takes you to the end of that payment section. Again, from a responses point of view, there's an Excel spreadsheet. We can go and have a look at some of those responses. So this tells us, I'm not going to share email addresses. And, this is where I get the questions to ask, Rory, I need another way to pay, for example. And Sandy took all I had. The whole thing is confusing me, etc. So please, if you are confused, you will have support groups. We will move forward and do this on a collective strategy. Thank you for your team. We're beyond grateful for the payment. So you can see all the questions that are coming through. I'm addressing those questions as it comes through. So thank you very. Oh wow, look at this. I did see this earlier. Be proud of you. Be proud of you. A young Nelson Mandela. I think that's a very nice compliment. Standing up for truth and honesty. And I think that's all that we all want at the end of the day. So those are the 2 forms. It's very simple to follow through. What I'm going to be doing is taking these forms and giving access via email on a specific account for that email address. So the username will be the email address that you registered for, and you will then be able to access the client portal, and that's where you're going to upload all your information through. Now, one of the questions that I've had is, Rory, I'd like to pay for 10 people or 3 people or 4 accounts, etc. So each account, okay, each access to the portal is for a legal entity, meaning a person or a legal entity that joined. But if you need to make a bulk payment, I understand, because it can get expensive on the fees. All that you do is, let's say you had 5 people that you're paying for in your family. You would submit the form 5 times with 5 unique email addresses, and with a proof of payment, you would then upload that for each one of them, and then send me an email saying, hi, Rory, attached is this proof of payment, and it's for these people. I will then, when I check the back end and we're busy with the audit, we will then cross-reference it to those names. So you can pay for 1 person at a time, or if you're paying for 5 people or more, you basically make 1 payment into those accounts, be it Tron, etc., and then you use the same proof of payment to upload as part of your proof of payment. And in the note sections as well, like your question is, you can just notify me saying I've paid for 5 people, and you can then just email me through as a backup to say, these are the people I've paid for, see attachment of payment. Each one of you are going to get a confirmation back in. I've already started the process. You'll get a confirmation back saying whether it's PayPal, here's a confirmation of your receipt, here's an amount. The same will happen with Tron. The same will happen with Ethereum as well. And the same will happen with the credit card moving forward. So I'm not going to take any questions on this. If this is not clear, we will address that when we go back, when we open up the forum. So hopefully I've addressed the single payment, the bulk payment explanation, the 3 payments, and look out for the credit card incoming. Now, the stages that we're talking about, we cannot move forward unless we've got the 10,000 people paid, because people are saying, well, why do we need to pay in advance? Well, if you know Dubai, firstly, legal is very expensive, but secondly, they will not move or go forward unless they have payment. Remember, we are doing this very strategically and in a private capacity. People are saying, oh, won't the governments do it? Well, no. We have to raise the issue. Now, you have the SEC in America, You have Australia. Australia were aware of this in 2020, but have yet to do it. So we, as a community, need to take this action in Dubai, and at the same time, make the other countries aware of what's taking place. And there is a strategy around that, but I'm not revealing the strategy. And that's also why we'll only release the details of who the appointed attorney firm is when we're over 10,000. The reason for that is the last thing I need is everybody phoning into the attorney firm saying, is this true? Is it happening? Should we do this? Shouldn't we do that? And as well, I don't want engagement yet with that attorney firm, with the Hypertech Group. I want to keep that back until we get there. 3,500, and this is for paid member contributions. We will have meetings and presentations when required. We will correspond via email and YouTube. You'll get presentation updates and email updates. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm keeping the costs low at the moment. I'm working on that credit card payment solution, and it will go via a web interaction and landing page, which you see on the next page as well. I will also circulate commonly asked questions, in which we're going to deal with 10 of them now. When we get to 5,000 paid members, we will launch the landing page and the website. We will then launch the groups with WhatsApp and Telegram, and that will be for members only. Assist and participate, and many of you have volunteered. I would greatly appreciate your assistance, and you can control some of those admin groups that we have there. The reason being, if you just think about this, if I have to take 10,000 minutes to address something, it will take me weeks to be able to get it back to everybody. So I've created a structure that we can filter the information down and make sure that we address with the information. Each of these groups that I'm creating, I do not want more than 100 people in each group. I find those other groups, when you have too many people, it just gets confusing. No one knows what's going on. People are trying to spam you and all that nonsense. So these are private groups. We'll have, provided I get the support from you as a community, there would be an admin person controlling that group specifically. And when information will be broadcast into those groups, but then you can have group discussions amongst yourselves. If anybody starts that nonsense and trying to give other things or doing things or spamming, the admin will have the rights to block them out of the group. So that is the thinking at this stage. And look, I can control it on the inside once we've got to the official portal access. But while we're communicating on the groups, we need to work collectively as a team to get this right. So when we hit 5,000, the landing page, website, the groups we'll assign the rights. Part of this is that we'll start agreeing on project timelines. And I will also at that stage do the multiple languages and countries at that stage as well. Between 7,500 and 10,000, we will then officially launch the client portal. And what will happen is that's when you will start loading up your information. We'll have presentations of exactly how to do it, what to do. You'll have support interaction. And again, we will appoint key people and volunteers. And I'm looking for people as well that would like to volunteer on the audit process of the money as well. But I'm not going to appoint those people now. We'll do it when we get later on, because we will just filter and make sure the structures are right. When we get to the 10,000 paid members, we officially pay the legal firm. We have then met our obligation with the legal attorneys to move forward. And then we will then officially register the legal case in Dubai. Everything will be set up from a web page. And anybody else, I have so many people that are coming to me saying, we weren't aware of this. We didn't know about this. We aren't, I just found you on the YouTube channel, or somebody only told me about this recently. Please, can I participate? So I want to make sure that we can offer this to everybody. So they have, and you will be able to do that between, obviously on the landing page, but also complete the commitment form. But when we launch the client portal, that will be where you upload all your information. And that's going to be Hyper. Remember, your $15 is for all the programs that are affected with the Hypertech Group, because we after the Hypertech Group, and Sam Lee being the chairman, he has not met the obligations of what he said. And, we have so many examples of that. For example, Vide, VAV, you made commitments there. But if you, for example, are involved in all those programs, you only need to pay the $115. You don't need to pay for everything. And that is why I've designed the system this way, to make sure that, because I know there are people that are affected in more than one of the platforms. So $15 will allow you to register your claim for each program that we've been affected in. And I think that's a very square deal to be able to do it. Why can we do it? It's because we've got the community numbers. Because we got the numbers, it's what, a Big Mac and maybe a side Coke or 2 Big Macs. I'm not even sure what the Big Mac costs in the US, but then you've got a chance of getting your money back. And for me, this is more important about me fulfilling my commitment to the community, as well as getting to the truth and justice. I am tired of people getting hurt. Protect ourselves and unify together. And I want to send a strong message out to any other person out there going to take us for fools. We will certainly stand up as a community, and this will be, I believe, a leading case for to make sure that we get proper legislation and protection out there. Too many people have lost too much money through lies, deceit in this crypto space. Crypto is a wonderful, wonderful industry. We must get rid of the bad elements in this industry or get the answers we need. Yeah, and then so when we get to 10,000, we officially move. Now, how quickly we get there is how quickly the community pays. And the reason why I've launched the groups over here, because that will accelerate and help reaching out to other people. Let's go through some of the questions. SEC and ASIC. So what is Exchange Council in America? That's basically Australia's equivalent. Why is Sam Lee not arrested if there is all the news in the papers and the SEC and the FBI want to speak to Sam? Well, quite simple. And he's got a travel ban in Dubai. He can't leave the country at the moment. And those countries don't have jurisdiction in Dubai. So as long as Sam is in Dubai, he's got no issues. And Sam has got some very good lawyers, and we want to get Sam into the courts to explain what has happened to our money and to get our money back. So the way we're doing this is a multi-tier approach, but the best way to do it is to get Sam in front of the courts in Dubai, and Australia and Dubai have an extradition treaty based on certain things taking place. And if Sam cannot answer the questions, or Hypertech can't answer the questions, and that's for all of them that are involved, well, then they either go to prison in Dubai or they get extradited to another country. That is, we just want to get our answers and get our money back. So hopefully that explains why we have to proceed in Dubai. If Sam moved to Australia, well, that's a whole different ballgame. And then we can deal with Sarah and those people in Australia. But right now, while Sam is in Dubai, we have to go the Dubai route. I can't pay USDT or PayPal. I need other payment solutions. So I think we discussed this. For me, the easiest option is the USDT, because I can work with the USDT. But the preference would be USDT, because obviously from a legal perspective, paying the legal, paying subscriptions, etc. So to give an indication, the mailing that I send out, because we now between 25 and 30,000 people that are on the email database, that costs $189 per month for me to be able to email out. And for me to do that, I need to pay off my credit card, or off, they don't accept USDT, they don't accept PayPal. So that is why these subscriptions, if you remember the other ones I did with HeyGen, where I convert my language into multiple languages, we're going to be using that extensively with AI technology to make sure that we can facilitate all the questions and be as smart as possible when we work there. So USDT allows me to do that, but I'm going with the credit card payment option because so many people are not able to access that. So just give me a chance, I'll have the credit card payment option. We did use the Wise solution, and to give I had feedback from Wise, and maybe I'll send an email out on that. The reason why Wise had an issue about this is it was my private account. I was using it for business purposes, and I transgressed that. And they don't want anything to do with cryptocurrencies in any shape, form. So that is why they stopped accepting funds on that side. I am in discussions with them to say, can I register a company, because I've got companies in South Africa, and for South Africa. It's more geared for the overseas European and discussions there, and we should have some solutions. I then get a lot of these questions saying, when, before I pay, will you guarantee my money back? Well, we'll get paid back. So I will not, and I cannot give a guarantee because we haven't even gone to court yet. So if $15, then that's fine. But then please don't come and say, when we do win our case, remember, we're going to be the priority creditors in this process. We will have all the information after the party to get your money back. And besides, for those members that have paid something, I've already arranged something which is going to be, I think, quite awesome for everybody. But that's not the reason why I want you to participate. But essentially, I don't want this costing anybody anything. But I cannot guarantee. And when will we get our money back? Well, when we win the case, or when Sam decides to pay us, like he's promised. So we will keep pushing until we have that. I moved my assets from Vide to StableDAO as requested by Sam in Vend, but I can't withdraw my money. Well, this is another thing that Sam has put us through. He said, if you want to keep your assets out of Vide, you need to sign up a account with StableDAO. So we did all of that. Then we got a Vend account and put new fresh money in if we want to have any chance of drawing money out. So it's just another delay nonsense tactic, in my opinion. And personally, I would not support Sam or his projects or Vend. The biggest lot of hogwash that I've seen going on there at the moment. Question 5, my upline person stranded. I do not know what to do or how to do it, but I have access to my account. I do not understand all the stuff. So it's a very sad situation when people have signed you up to something. They've probably earned money off you. Firstly, even if they didn't earn money off you, they should be assisting you. That's my opinion. One of the reasons I opened up the Vide groups is because so many leaders just abandoned them. And I use this term leaders loosely because people are just saying, oh, it's not my problem anymore and you must sort it out yourself. Well, if somebody is new to this industry, where do they start? What to do? And I find it in very poor taste that those people that made money off other people or got them into a project of some kind has left them stranded. And that goes for whether you just introduce somebody or you're the leader. I've put my hand out to all the leaders, the V5s of Hyper, to everybody to say, you're welcome to participate with this program. You're welcome to be part of this legal case. At this stage, I have verbal, yes, we will do it and whatnot, but most people want to keep out of the limelight. For me, I have nothing to hide. I have done everything with the best intentions possible. It is my opinion that we have been lied to, and it's time to get the justice. So if you're waiting for your upline, ask them, tell them, I'm willing to let them get engaged in this process. And there's some very good leaders out there, but I think there's a lot of scared leaders out there. I think part of it is that some of the leaders don't want to say how much money they made, or maybe they're not reporting it, or maybe they just don't want the heat themselves. If they've done things the wrong way, then they shouldn't be in that position. I think you need to do things the right way. And hopefully, through this whole process that we go through, I can hopefully give my insights on what is maybe the better way to do things. And also, please, my goodness gracious me, I should have put this as a slide. I had somebody approach me. Somewhere I've been put on a Telegram group, and people see that as me endorsing that program. 100% not. People can add you. Don't have people thinking that I'm endorsing those products. There's some program in South Africa, which is the biggest load of nonsense. Please do not pay money to people thinking it's me. I've created a web site called roryconica.com, so I can at least control the narrative of what goes out there, and through these methodologies that we're doing. I have this question quite a lot. I don't have money to pay the $15. Why do I have to pay the $15? Just give my money back. Well, I don't have your money. And the purpose of what we're putting together is to get our money back. But I cannot give a guarantee on that. So if you've lost $1,000 or $500 or $10,000 or $200, and you do not want to contribute, well, I think you need to take that up with the person that assisted you, or you need to make a decision to see if you want to be part of this process. I cannot pay for everybody. And I think people need to make sure that they are committed to the process. And as I said to you earlier, I've got something in mind. And those that know me will know at the end of the day, what I have in mind, the people here will benefit a lot more than what the $15 is. So I just copied and pasted this. My upline who disappears, set up my VideLook with USD Tron. I have absolutely no clue how to do the USDT Tron by myself, nor do I know anyone to help. How do I get you $15? I have a Cash App, Vimo, PayPal. I look forward to your response. So obviously they've used the PayPal option, but as a community here, I think it's important that we'll segment these because some people are in Hyper, some people in VideLook, some people in VAV, some people are in Vend. So we're going to break those programs up, and you can go to those different programs to find out specifically what you need to do. There's Hyperverse has gone to Hypernation. I think there's Hypercosmos now. There's so many different things out there. At this stage, I'm not joining any of that stuff other than getting to the truth and getting the answers we need from the people that have created all these problems. How long will the process take? Is there a maximum amount of time that the lawsuit can last for before a final decision is made? Where we are fortunate is that Dubai moves very quickly compared to the Western world when it comes to process. I'm estimating about 6 to 9 months is going to be the process time. That's kind of where we are. And I've looked at the average and the discussion with the attorneys. The key thing is the better prepared we are doing the work ourselves and putting the right information forward, the quicker we're going to get a result. So that is why I've created the client portal. That's why I'm putting all the information together. And keep in mind, most of the attorneys in Dubai charge $300 to $450 per hour. So we need to take on as much work as possible ourselves to keep the costs low. And then we'll get the results. So this one was, I just copied and pasted this. Is there a way for us to see our registration is complete and the amounts recorded with each program? Yes, that will be the client portal. That's exactly why we're doing everything. And we will guide you on how much to put forward for a claim, etc. If someone is participating in this lawsuit and pays the $15, but did not get their earnings in VideLook transfer to Vend, line to win some of that back or get some of this back, yes, absolutely. VideLook, you cannot now say the only way you're going to get your money is to move to Vend. Absolutely not. VideLook is its own legal entity, and that's the battle between Gareth and Sam, where they are. Gareth is saying it's Sam. Well, we don't really care. We'll get to VideLook is VideLook, VAV is VAV, Vend is Vend. So we will get to the bottom of it. Has Sam Lee said or given any indication that he does still to stand by his promises to at least return the principal deposits that were made? My view, Sam is not going to pay unless we take him to court. There's been so many failed promises, and this goes back to Hypertech days. My view is just a buying time exercise, and I think we've all reached out, and it's now time to get our money back. And dragging people into the court, we will do that. Just for this is the coin. We'll send $15 payments on Tron, etc., etc. Okay, that's just that. Yes. So I have had a couple of people that used the Tron network but paid in TRX. That's fine. I can convert it in the back end, but please, there's a fluctuation on those amounts. So when you are making payment on the Ethereum network or on the Tron network, pay in USDT because it's $15. Everyone's very appreciative of what you're doing. Thank you. Yes, I must say, on the whole, everybody has been very grateful. There are some wise Alex out there that are a little bit, make life a little difficult and with a whole bunch of accusations. For example, here's a prime one. Oh, Rory, you just doing this to make money? No, I'm opening up to a full audit. Why on earth would I, firstly, make myself a public target? Secondly, take on Sam and the Hypertech Group for $15 and what, run off with the money? Why would I do that? I've got everything publicized openly to everyone, telling you how the money is going to be used and how we're going to walk forward. I'm not here to take $15 and put that in my pocket. I'm here to get the truth and justice. I'm here to make sure that we as a community and every single one of you that want to participate have a chance to at least get your voice heard, because not everybody here has got that kind of money to be able to take on. So collectively as a community, we are taking this matter on, and I'm happy to push this through. Yeah, there have been some issues. I mean, I have had some threats, but anyway, with my payment, can all my family accounts be represented, wife and children? Yes, absolutely. So you can make one payment, but remember, each claim is for a separate account or legal entity. So you can make payment, let's say, for 5 people, but you need to fill in the form 5 times, and each one needs a unique email address because that's a separate claim. That's how the client portal is going to be worked. So hopefully that is very clear. Rory, why are you doing this? It is not your responsibility, and you're making yourself a target for too much attention in the space. I copied and pasted this. Make them pay with their freedom. Get justice for all. The lives they have ruined. People have committed suicide because they've lost everything to these scumbags. Make them pay in a federal supermax prison. God bless you. So I'm here for truth. I'm here for justice. I do believe that we as a community have the support of getting to the truth. It is a big task. This is a massive undertaking. As I said, in some ways I have made myself a target. I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't. I'll probably lose a lot of friends in this, top leaders that don't agree with what I'm doing, because they don't want to become targets themselves. But that's, for me, this is not about that. If you went into this with open eyes, you did everything with the best intentions, those leaders should be fighting for you, or those people should be fighting for you as well. There should be 10, 20, 30, 50 leaders here standing up. But each person is to their own. I don't judge those people. I don't judge those leaders. I don't know their personal circumstances. But in my opinion, I made a commitment to the community. It's enough, and it's time to get justice. Open the floor, and we'll take some questions. Sharon, if you can handle, if you guys want to put your hands up, and we will start answering any questions that might not have been addressed here. Is there any questions that anybody would like to ask? Can you raise your hand, please? Okay, Sarah. I'm just going to find you. All right, Sarah, please go ahead.
Hi, Rory. I'm a little concerned. What happens if the costs skyrocket and it goes above the $15?
I think that's a good point. I myself would probably put in the difference to keep things going. Maybe we get more than the allotted amount, meaning I'm anticipating when this goes to court and people see that there's actually a proper class action suit, we will have more people wanting to be participating in that process. My main aim is to make sure that we get this out in the public, we get this to the courts, and I have got support of some people that have made good money in this industry, and they're willing to step up, but they're not going to do that unless the community steps up. So, we will have a good cash war chest to take this to court. If people follow my instructions concisely, I think we will have what we need to get the answers we need. But I am prepared to put additional funds in for myself to keep this going.
Okay, thank you, Rory. That's just worrying because obviously most of us, if not all of us, have lost an awful lot of money.
Understand.
And we haven't got money, and we're trying to get even the 15 together. It's hard for so many people, especially in the countries where obviously they had nothing to start with. And I'm just trying to
Yes,
think how we can
absolutely.
help everyone.
And that's one of the reasons I'm so mad at the moment, is because with VidiLook, they introduced the $25 option. What they don't understand, that is so much money for people in our country. They're on minimum wage, and all they want to do is change their life. And how do you dare steal $25 from somebody that's in a desperate situation? I find that totally, utterly unacceptable, and I will not stand for it. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I'm prepared to go ahead, but I'm not, we got to do this together as a community. This is about all of us having a chance to share our voice. And I'm determined, and I've committed to it. People thought it was a big joke. I got mocked on the internet. People told me I would never get the people supporting this initiative. I had people telling me we'll never get over 1,800 people. Well, we've got 20,000, and over 20,000 people that are committed. And I believe there's a lot more people out there that have been hurt. And this is about us making the right statement in the, to these people that are out there to take us for money and lie to us. They're just blatantly lying to us. And I will not stand for it. I will not stand for it. Go to court, go and prove your case. Let's get it done. That's what I believe.
Thank you, Rory.
It's a pleasure. All right, Freddie.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Roy? I appreciate everything you're doing. But
Thank
if
you.
if anybody got any doubts, they caught one of the big VP5s in Maryland, Brenda Chunga, aka
About and Brenda.
Yeah, they
Yes.
brought charges against her. So what Mr. Roy is doing, I know the guy assembling about, and they brought when the news people talked about it on the television, they brought up Sam Lee and Bitcoin Rodney. But Brenda Chunga is finna go to jail, federal prison, for her mishap and all this stuff too, because she involved with Sam Lee, Keith Williams, and all them guys. Those guys were the big leaders in this thing right here when I came on board with Hyperverse and all that stuff. So it is working in the United States. Like I said, they brought her up on charges. She was in federal court last month. Matter of fact, my friend sent me the YouTube, the thing. And if you want me to send it to you, Mr. Roy, I will send it to you and let you play it for these people. So it's working in the United States. I understand people don't have a lot of money. I'm a retired soldier, but like I said, God has blessed me with a lot. But I understand what y'all went through. But these guys that were VP5 and they robbed the system, and I know, $15 a lot in other countries. I done been in foreign countries, stationed overseas and all that stuff in Egypt and Africa and all that stuff, being my military career, but I'm retired now. But just don't go against Mr. Roy. Like I said, they caught Bitcoin beauty, okay? So they out for Sam Lee, especially in the United States. They want that joker.
Absolutely. And just to further that, Freddie, I am working directly, well, let's call indirectly, with the SEC, FBI, and people in Australia. So I'm taking this very seriously, very seriously.
Right.
And
Yes,
the reason why we have to move on Dubai is we have to do it the right way to get Sam Lee extradited to Australia. And if not, he's going to get prosecuted. He's going to get prosecuted in Dubai, unless he can defend himself. I mean, I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm saying I want the truth. I want justice, and that money is somewhere, and it's a lot of money, and it's time now that it gets sorted out.
Yeah, I'm just giving you your kudos. I appreciate what you're doing. It takes a lot of honor, respect, and courage to do what you're doing. Like I said, I did a lot of stuff that, fought against a lot of stuff in my military career that wasn't right, how they scam people. So, but what you're doing, I just appreciate what you're doing.
And it is a scary world out there, and it's a pleasure, Freddie. I just feel that, if 500,000 people or more have been affected by this, and what concerns me is that we're going to be going into a crypto boom in the future. And there's just going to be more people taken advantage of and more people hurt. So my view is let's make a stance. Let's find our answers that we need to, so we can put our heads on our pillows at night and know that we've done everything possible. But for too long, people have been abused and taken advantage of with the cryptocurrency space. It's time now to sort this out. Okay, I see another gent here. David, I'm going to unmute you because I don't think you know how to put your hand up on the system.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So go for it,
Rory.
David.
Rory. Yes, I have only 2 emails. With the ones that I work with Hypertech, it's mostly a Gmail, and the rest I used for a couple for another 10 of my accounts. I used the Yahoo, but I submitted both, and so I'm wondering. The amount that I invested was a little too big, because it was between 150,000 to 200,000, and so do I have to send 2 payments, one for one email and one for the other email, or only one payment?
So remember in Hyperverse they originally said, or Hyper Community, that you could have multiple accounts. That was, we've actually got documented proof of that. So if you opened up more than one account, you can submit those accounts accordingly. We have recordings of that. So said no, there was no problem. Then later they changed it after that. But so it depends on your timeline when you terms and conditions at the time. So basically the $15 is per person. But if you've got 5 accounts, and one is for your wife, one's for your daughter, one's for this, and those were the legal entities that you signed them up on.
No,
you need to have them 3 or 4.
I submitted them all under my name with the same email. Yeah,
Yes.
it was like I formed
you,
like a group, but it was all mine.
So if it was just you, if it was all yours and you formed a group, you only have to fill in one, because you're one person that's claiming.
Yes, and I submitted.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I submitted the whole amount for all of them, for all of my accounts. My accounts go over. It's like 15 accounts.
Yep, but then when you put it forward, we're going to address all those questions in the client portal. So we will have examples and we'll explain it. So right now you're not uploading that information. I want to make sure that, because if we don't get the support, so let's look at the negative side. Let's say we only get to 3,000 people paying the $15. I have to put a timeline to it and say, guys, we didn't get the 10,000, so I'm not going forward as the leftover proceeds for you, because we can't keep this going for another 2 years. So when we get to 5,000, we're going to put a timeline as a community to say, right, when we get to 10, how long do we do this, and when do we close it off? But if it takes another 3 months to get payments in before we even submitted forms, well, there needs to be a timeline. So we'll firm that up. But one of the reasons I haven't done that is because I want to make sure the payment systems are simple to follow, and we've gone through that process. And one of the reasons why we took a bit of strain was specifically because I did not realize that so many people could not pay in cryptocurrencies. It was, I was expecting maybe 5%, 10%, but it turns out it's completely the other way around. And we will address that going forward. So hopefully that answers your question, David.
I am waiting for you to let us pay with credit card, and then we will send to me the payment.
Yes, I realize that's going to be the best option for everybody. Thank you, David.
Okay. Thank you.
Gwen, if you can go forward, please. Gwen, you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes, I
Okay,
can.
great. Hey, Roy, I have a couple questions for you. First of all, I'm a real factual person. So when you met, how did you figure out the figure of the $15 per person? Because I'm looking at 10,000 people at $15 is only $150,000. And that
Yes.
just seems such a low amount of money for a representation of a lawyer with such a huge benefit to the people of Hyperverse and Hypertech, when there was billions of dollars lost in those platforms. I mean, I know what my team lost. So it just seems that the $15, what kind of numbers have you already seen that would employ the lawyers to defend such a huge lawsuit? That's my question.
Because there's an incentive for them to win the case, and there's part of the proceeds will pay the additional attorney fees. Does that make sense? So in other words, we secure them to get what they need, and then we agree on a negotiated percentage of the winnings of what we're going to get back. Does that make sense?
Say that again.
So the $15 is to secure the attorneys to move forward with the case. They realized if we've got such a strong case, which we have, and we've got over 10,000 people that are committed, when they proceed, part of the additional fees to them will come out of the money that's being paid. In other words, from victory of the case. So it's not a full pro bono, it's deposit and pro bono with victory, if that makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense. But have they agreed? Is there a certain amount of money that they have actually agreed to, or where did that 150,000 financial amount come from?
That came out of the discussion to secure the case to move forward. And remember, there's different ways you can proceed criminally, individually, and there's different. So I'm trying to balance that we will pick up more of the work. I mean, if I feel it's the right approach, because there's no guarantee that we're specifically going to win. We don't know, okay? But we're after the truth, the justice, and we know there's money sitting in Dubai, and we know what's going on. I unfortunately cannot expose what I do know, but I can assure you there is money there. And those lawyers will work the law as much as possible, because remember, this isn't just about, when you talk about Hypertech, it's not just about those programs. In the Hypertech group, there's other businesses that are interlinked with Vide, etc. And I don't want to mention it specifically, but we actually have people that have located those offices in Dubai specifically. There's over 100 people that we've identified in this.
Okay. And then the next one is, when you get the credit card available, do you know how long that'll be? That way we could just pay for the whole team at one lump sum. Do you know when that will be available?
I'm hoping that it'll be done before the end of April. I just need to get there's two approaches, and I'm waiting for final. So I've got to integrate it back into a banking account and then be able to export it back out. So there are things I have to do with the bank, and one of the options is selling an online membership, which is kind of what we're doing here, but doing it through one of the locally registered companies I own. That's one option. The other option is using Woo Finance, but I've got a little less control on that to a degree. It is safe, but and then I've been approached by somebody else, funny enough, in this group that has suffered, that actually provides payment solutions for online gateways. And he's come to me and said, if I need help, he will make a plan for me and we can get that going. So I'm hoping by the answers will be by the end of April. Okay,
great. Will you be contacting us like you contacted us previously through the email? Yes, when all of this is available?
Correct. So for now, I'm only really communicating on emails until we get to about 5,000 people. Then we will start with the groups. The reason why I'm doing that, I don't know about you guys, how many groups that you are on. I don't want us to be on groups for the sake of being on groups and just having messages going back and forth. Let's stick with the plan, and we do this constructively and we work forward together. And then once we've got to that 5,000 mark, we know we're halfway there. Then we do the groups, then we do the client portal, and then we get to the 10,000. By the time we get there, because the last thing I want to do is ask you to do work and we're not there yet, if that makes sense. So imagine we only get to 2,000 people and you've spent all the time doing the work that you need to do. I would rather take it in stages. Does that answer your question, Gwen?
It does. The other thing is, you know, we're getting to 10,000 people. It seemed like to me that we only have 94 people on this call. It seems like we would be, you know, everyone would be interested that was really interested in getting, not necessarily what we want our funds back, but we just want the people that has done this to us to be punished, you know, for what they've done. So
I'm glad you said that.
Back to you.
I'm glad you said that, Gwen, because some people are saying, "Oh, if I can't guarantee my money back, I don't want to participate." I think that's a very selfish view for themselves, because this isn't just about them. It's about a lot of people here that have been really hurt and people that are going to get hurt. It's almost like witnessing somebody getting beaten up and not saying anything and just walking past and watching that person getting hurt or abused, or, you know, we have to have some sort of conscious, in my opinion, on getting things straight. This isn't a game. People's lives have been absolutely ruined on this, devastated. It is not a game. And I have seen firsthand how this has destroyed people. And I cannot sit idly by and just let this continue. And this is why, as a community, we have a voice. If it was just me, you know, I can pick myself up and go and do other things. But there's a lot of people here that are too new to this. They've lost so much money. I mean, that gentleman before was talking about $150,000. That is an excessive amount of money, you know. So it's time that we just pull the reins in and sort this out. So thank you, Gwen. I appreciate your comments. Marcel, if you can go ahead. Marcel? Gerritsen? Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. Thanks for everything you're doing. I was wondering, I already paid in the beginning of March. How will I know that the payment arrived? And do I need to do the whole form again now? Or was the first form the same?
No, the first form was a commitment form. And you would have only got the payment details in the second form, which is the membership payment form. So
Okay.
So if you filled in, you basically need to fill in both documents. But if you missed the first one, in other words, you didn't do the commitment form, it's okay. You just need to do the current payment form.
Okay. Okay. I think I did both. And how will I find out that I did both?
You will get so for your confirmation, we're busy with the audit of that at the moment. In other words, we're checking the back end. You will get a confirmation of payment from me with a receipt saying this is the confirmation receipt.
Okay.
So you literally will get a one-on-one email from me.
Okay. Okay. I'll be waiting for that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. The power couple.
Hello, Rory.
Hi.
Hi, this is Jerry and Tracy Montgomery. And I have to say thank you for what you are doing, because we haven't had too much of information regarding anything. And I have a large organization, and majority of them had to go back to work. Now, I'm asking, is there a recording? Are you recording this where they will be able to listen to the information that is given by you today? Or how would I be able to relay this to them?
So what you would do is you'd go to my YouTube channel, and we're busy with a live broadcast at the moment. So that would get published live, and people can just go and interact on that directly and watch it. The reason I'm doing it is because this is public information. So many people have found this, and I'm glad. The people that don't want this to happen are not sharing the information. Does that make sense? The people that are worried for themselves are not promoting it, or those other people are not even aware this is happening. And, you know, that for me is very concerning, because they're only then, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, they're only looking after their own self-interest. They're not actually thinking to the extent. That's my concern. And in my opinion, I've done nothing wrong. You know, I've done nothing wrong. I would like to think other leaders have done nothing wrong, and they should be able to stand up for themselves, like what you're doing for your community. In this to steal money from people or mislead people the wrong way. We've all been scammed here, okay? And I sent out a video called Pig Butchering. I don't know if you had a chance to watch that.
No, I have not.
But we literally, so if you Google Pig Butchering, there was an email that I sent out. A highly sophisticated scamming operation that is worldwide, linked with a whole bunch of different stuff. So this isn't really just about cryptocurrencies. This is a much bigger thing that's happening. But we cannot, well, I feel we cannot allow this to continue. We got to take a stand. And at least, even if we just get the voice out there, we, you know, the certain governments, look what happened, as the gentleman said. FBI has taken action. SEC's taken action. Those people are now, do you think they will ever do this again? You know, where they miss people or take them? No. I want us to, as a community, we share and make sure that we do things the right way. There are so many scams out there and so many misguided. We need to protect ourselves. We need to unify ourselves and say, if we are opportunities, maybe, and that will come up in your discussions, is this good or bad? Because I think we all here for the same reason, to get justice and to protect and stand together. And I feel that is important. Well, that's my feeling.
Well, that's my feeling as well, exactly to what you were saying. And to do it as a community, because people don't understand that doing it individually, there is a high cost. There's so much you have to put into it. And so the community is a good, and $15 is good. And I see where it all goes. And for another thing is that with my husband and I, for our organization, people that has lost money, it was going to be before I even knew about you and what was going on, that we were going to get their money back, even if we had to physically, you know, give them their money back, or however we were going to do it, because I have a lot of people that put in thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So by me seeing this today, that was brought to me from my daughter, because I didn't have no knowledge of what was going on. And I thank her for sharing this with me this morning. And so my thing is, I'm going to get everyone in my organization who has put in money to make sure they watch this video and to share it with those who they have, so we can get this up to 20,000 or more people, how many we have to get up to. You know what I'm saying? To make sure everyone gets their money back. So I commend you. I say thank you. And I just need that second form so I can get it out. And so they can do the same as well. And we can roll and let God does what he has to do with whomever that did what they didn't need to do. And I appreciate you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. And thank you for your support. And thank you for, let's do this together. And I believe we're going to come out of this as a very strong community, working together to protect each other out of all these bad things that are out there. And no one wants, and there's good things there. There's some great, but there is just so much going on and so much misguidance and lies. You have to take a stand. So thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Amen. Thank you.
Are you okay? I'm going to put the form onto the chat quickly. So for those, it is in the emails that I've sent out. Maybe I can just go and open up my email, and then I'll just put that in the form, and then anybody that's on this call that hasn't received an email from me will then will certainly have it. Okay, there's the meeting. The other thing I just want to mention I'm not a kind of person that's going to just keep sending updates and updates and updates, if that makes sense. I only want to communicate when it makes sense to communicate. And that's why I'm sticking mainly to email and going through stages and being systematic about this. Because we have so much information and so many things to do. We have a goal. We know what we need to get to. We need communication. We need to share the word. People need to know this is going ahead. I have been thinking about speaking with the attorney firm to get a confirmation letter. But I've got to be very, very careful how I work in Dubai. Very careful. Because as soon as the attorney firms are open, the people that want to defend themselves start negotiating with those attorneys, and it can cause issues before we even get to counsel. So I've got a very strategic approach. The person that we engaged with works with the legal system in Dubai, and is representative, been in Dubai for 30 years, but deals with big corporate entities. So we've got the right people behind us that is going to guide us through this. Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, am I up?
Yeah, I can hear you. You up? Go for it, Scott.
So it's not realistic. I understand where you're coming from, but it's not realistic I don't have that much money in to keep putting more and more money in beyond the $15. So if you're going to want more money, I'm just trying to think, do you have any ability to also capture, theoretically, let's say we put $1,000 in and we were in for 2 years. So theoretically, there's now $10,000 or $11,000 in our account. Do you have any ability to recapture any of the return on investment? Otherwise, it's just not realistic. I'm going to keep putting more and more money into this.
Sorry, so are you saying the 15? So just take me back. What did you put into the program? And you're saying you said $1,000.
Let's for example say I put $1,000 in.
Okay. Yes.
If you come back 6 months from now and you want another $100 from me, that's called good money chasing bad money. I'm not going to keep putting.
No, you don't have to do that. I'm not intending to do that. We addressed the question a little earlier, where I think it was the first question asked, and I said, well, my intention is to probably put the balance of some of the money in myself, and it depends on how many people we get. We said 10,000 people was the minimum that we needed to move forward. The second thing we said, the attorneys are looking to do the work and process what needs to be done. And the third part is, out of the proceeds, there will be additional negotiated percentage, depending on how many people come forward, that the attorneys will then call it a commission of collection, if you want to call it that way. And they will be incentivized to get as much out as possible, so we get as much out as possible. Does that make sense, Scott?
Yes. I apologize. Maybe I misunderstood. It sounded like you inferred that possibly we would have to put more skin in the game. And I understand why that might be true, but okay.
I'm not interpreting, and I actually want to take it one step further, Scott, and I don't want to publicly talk about it really, but certain things, my intention is that it actually doesn't cost the people the $15 in the end. That's my but I can't talk about it now, but there will be enough added value for everybody here that the $15 will be insignificant.
Last question. Is there any way to extend the lawsuit into the United States?
Each country has their own jurisdiction. Is get the questions answered in Dubai. If not, extradition to Australia, America, that would already move. So they are desperate to America at this stage. So when you say extend to the US, right now we focused on one country, that's Dubai, because that is where we have to get it into the legal court system. Otherwise, Sam, there's no jurisdiction from those countries in Dubai. So we have to take this matter on as they were operating out of Dubai and platform. Does that make sense what I'm saying, Scott? I don't know if I've lost you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Is there anybody else? All right. I'm going to call it a day. Thank you very much for everybody. We went a little bit longer than expected, but I think it was worthwhile. Please look out for your emails. There'll be more information going out. I appreciate everybody's support. For those that you do know that did get affected, please make sure that they are aware of this and that they are able to participate should they choose to participate. But wishing you all a fantastic